right.
No throwing away the booze.
No. Once we finish
rule.
these bottles, I'm going to put a flower in mine. This is an awesome
beautiful.
vase. It's beautiful.
Bottle.
Yeah.
Really gorgeous. Well, I normally wouldn't start with this story, but since Dan's here.
I don't like to talk about myself, Gina.
Just
but
this once, please.
I was so excited. My son got a flat. his bike, and that we could go do something together. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not buying a new tube. I'm patching the tube. I'm old school.
Yeah.
Scuff it up, glue it up, hold it underwater. See where the little bubble comes from.
Sure.
You know, circle it, scuff it up, like pop it, like doing something tactile, something real, something together, like in the garage.
With a beginning, middle, and end.
Took 25 minutes. Like went to the bike store, got the patch. They have the stick-on ones now, but I got the glue-on one.
Of course you did.
Supposed to be better. And like we took care of business. It's kind of nice.
Great.
And then Sonny kind of got it. And he kind of helped me. And it's good to know stuff.
Be proud, but not too proud, as you realized when he changed a tire and you started quelling.
He didn't change. He just put air in a tire.
Oh, God.
And I was over the moon.
You know what? That's on you for being that excited about that.
I know. Well, it shows you where the bar is.
Well, since Dan's here, we're going to start with something we would never typically start with. Some microbiologists, I really want your take on this. Some microbiologists in Belgium believe they've improved the taste of beer by identifying and genetically modifying a gene that affects the flavor. And everyone, possibly besides Dan, will be surprised, I think, at what flavor that is. The researchers focused on a certain gene that presents a banana-like flavor, which is supposedly one of the most important flavors in beer as well as other alcoholic drinks. For many years, beer was brewed in open horizontal vats. However, the industry transitioned to these large closed vessels in the 70s because they're simpler to fill and clean and empty, allowing brewing in greater volumes. But the flavor takes a huge hit. These modern techniques produce lower quality beer, but now because they found this one teeny tiny little isolated gene that puts the flavor back in, and it's a banana flavor, they think it's going to improve the taste of these quote unquote low quality beers.
So this is for cheap beer. It's not for the craft.
Mass produced beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
have you heard that about banana before?
Well, I say this about banana. You always hear about banana flavor. Nothing really tastes like a banana except the banana. I think, unless the stuff they make in the lab. But I'm not a fan. Look, it's mass-produced beer, so I get why they need to figure out techniques and things that can get them there. I'm probably with Adam on this in that I like. Here's a way to get rid of that. Here's a way to get that flavor back in. Make it the way you used to make it.
Right.
Make it take that extra step. So. If you're drinking Bud Light or Budweiser, and that's fine, okay, maybe it'll make it taste a little bit better. I'm just not a fan of, you can make anything taste like anything, but then it's not real, right? I mean, I like things to feel a little bit authentic, Someone could probably match the flavor of this vodka in a lab and make it in a lab, and you'd be like, all right, but it's just not, you're not drinking stuff this came from real olives.
I think the guys who like Budweiser like Budweiser.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all about their cheap.
Accustomed to the...
They give them out to the ball players, sorry, Dan, when they celebrate in the locker like Houston. There's always a Budweiser. There must be sponsorships, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't see a guy with a Sam Adams, dumping it on another guy's head. It's Bud. It's like it's pretty much.
Well, what did they have when they won it last time? When Houston won it last time, did they worry about shocking him when they sprayed him with champagne? All the sensors he had on there to cheat. I still feel like they were cheating in some way. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny that anyone celebrates the Astros at this point. I mean, that was pretty. That
little
horrible.
guy. What's his Altuve?
Yeah.
I just want to smack him.
He didn't want to take off his jersey because he had a tattoo that he was shy
No,
about.
his wife would get mad.
That's right, but he was shy about his tattoo.
Yeah,
his wife would get mad that he had sensors on it. He was getting his nipple shocked. And here comes the slider.
It must be. It always seems to be Budweiser, or maybe it's the stadium beer that they use.
Budweiser put out like champagne-style bottles for the locker room, so they actually have like the cork and everything too, so they shake it up.
I remember years ago, I assume it was with you, we did, like the drinking man's beer taste test, and if I remember correctly, because I never really had them or didn't remember, I think I liked Coors the best.
I don't remember.
I mean,
I don't either.
does anyone remember?
Was I on the show? I don't know. I don't know this one.
Not
Yeah.
out of all the beer that exists, but out of the
No, we did the
offerings
big,
we
the
were
big
given.
three, yeah.
Doesn't it seem like Miller High? What's the champagne of beers?
Miller.
Didn't that
High
seem
Life.
like they missed an opportunity there with this?
Yeah, the champagne of
If
beers.
you're the
dump
champagne
it
of beers, why are they not spraying that in the locker room?
The also, I don't want to see the guys wearing goggles.
No.
No,
No,
protection.
sorry.
Man
I
up.
want training wheels and
Man up.
goggles. It just go take
Yeah.
the bath.
Get a cork in the eye, you're fine.
My favorite thing is when the person that's interviewing them gets it blasted in the face,
Yes.
and they try to act like they're okay with it.
They're not being waterboarded.
Gee, yeah, and they just you can see the violence in their eyes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, most of the guys, or not most of the guys, but it seems like a lot of the stars of the game were born in Cuba or something. So you're using the translator, and that's a slow answer. Yeah,
No good.
yeah.
Well, let's bring it down a few notches. Some sad news. Troubled pop singer Aaron Carter found dead at his home in Lancaster, California on Saturday morning. He was 34 years old. According to TMZ, Carter was discovered after law enforcement officers responded to a call that a male had drowned in the bathtub at home, which we've heard before.
Yeah,
Whitney
you mean
Houston
like Whitney
and her daughter, I believe.
Yes.
The singer, who went through a series of rehab stints due to his issues with substance abuse, had a difficult last few years. He obtained restraining orders against his family members, charging that they were trying to harm him, and had a series of domestic abuse charges with his the mother of his infant son, Prince. Her name was Melanie. But, of course, I think we can all understand they were not trying to abuse him. They were trying to get him help.
Yeah.
Carter, who's the younger brother of Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys. TMZ, now we have a teeny bit more information, even though I think it said on the way here that the coroner has deferred the cause. Yeah, the cause of what happened. TMZ reported that multiple cans of compressed air were found in his bathroom and bedroom, as well as prescription pills.
What's a compressed air mean?
It gets you kind of high.
Like the whippets, right?
Yeah. Like if you breathe it in.
The
Why are you looking at me?
He was probably trying to clean his keyboard.
Well, there is something called compressed air.
No, it is that. But I'm saying it's
like
the
Cool Whip.
It's the,
Yeah, but
it's-
that's
He was
the
trying to
propellant.
fix a flat.
Right.
Apparently, he was trying to fix a flat, and it went wrong, hideously wrong. If Ace would have been there, I could have helped him through it. Too soon?
I don't want to overdo it, but that propellant is the nitrous oxide or whatever it is. That's what gets you high.
Right.
The compressed
Can that
air
kill
didn't
you?
make. I didn't.
If you
know
huff
that.
enough of it, I imagine it can't help.
Or maybe it knocked him out. Did he drown in the bathtub?
technically also reportedly found prescription pills as well.
Oh, they probably found those cartridges that they sell at restaurant supply.
for like whipped cream.
Yeah, for like propellant. Yeah, that's probably what they
Whipped
they
cream, the silent killer.
Seriously.
The heart disease.
Yeah, people would go into 7-Elevens and like huff
Dan,
those
please.
things and throw them down.
right.
I was stupid. I was so high, I tried it with Cool Whip, but that's just me.
Just eating a tub of it and seeing what happens.
Got a nose full of whipped cream.
I get so angry at people that buy dessert topping. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you look corn
Non-dairy
oil.
dessert topping.
It's like, would you just buy some fucking
Cream.
whipped cream
Mix it up.
for our pie? And then you get the number one stupidest answer. I like this stuff
No, you
better.
don't.
I like Log Cabin, Mrs. Butterworth with, brown dye number 17 and fake flavor.
No.
Syrup. I like it better than Trader Joe's
Then tapped from the tree maple syrup.
maple syrup. Who are these people? You know who these people are? They're people who grew up on this shit and then can't get off it. Like they just, this is what I ate. I ate fake American cheese when I was 9, and now I eat fake American cheese and Mrs. Butterworth.
I
It's like,
genuinely
knock
can't
it-
believe it's not butter.
Right, just stop it though.
What
stop
about
at some
Cool
point.
Whip? All right, what do you like better? The Cool Whip in the tub or the Ready Whip in the can?
Well, that's what we're talking about. The
Well,
Red Whip.
it's two different flavors. The Cool Whip is thicker.
Cool Whip's like the mayonnaise, I think of it. You know,
Or it could
ready
be
to
the
smoke.
Dijonnaise.
You're right.
What do you like better?
As a kid, Miracle Whip seemed weird to me.
It's all we grew up on.
Weird fake cheese seemed weird.
all we
Like
grew up
it
on.
all seemed weird to me.
Yeah.
Like all the fake synthesized everything just felt like, why would you do this if you could get a real version of this?
I grew up on Snackwells, on egg beaters, on the Olestra potato chips.
Imperial margarine.
The spray butter.
Oh, okay.
Zero fat Kraft singles. 0 calorie bread.
Zero
This
calorie.
or is it low calorie
yeah.
bread.
Right,
Our
yeah.
diet right.
Ah,
You just reminded me. This is how crazy the times were back when I was a kid. In Philly, there was a company called Charles Chips, and they delivered the chips. They came in a big giant, I'm talking like a tub of potato chips in a can, and you had the Charles Chips delivery guy, because chips, I guess, were an essential part of any Philadelphian's diet. So we would get them, and it would deliver it once a week, and then you would leave the empty can out at the end of the week. It was like a milkman.
That
but
is
for
not
pet-
real.
Right.
I swear to God, anybody that's listening out there in the Philadelphia area knows, that's older than 35, knows what I'm talking
Were
about.
these amazing
Then the
chips?
Charles, no, they're just potato chips. But at the end of the week, it was like you were expected to eat a giant tub of chips because the delivery guy would be back the next week to pick up the empty can and leave a new
Never
can
heard of it
of
this
Charles
before.
chips.
so so we didn't sign up for anything. There was no newspaper delivery. There was no milkman. There was no Charles Chips. There was
Oh.
the mailman dropped off the penny saver catalog.
And the past due notices.
Yes, there was no subscription of any kind between my parents and my grandparents and my dad, like 3 different households. There was no newspaper. There was certainly no pool man.
Do you think
no
that was
gardener.
because LA is so spread out and it's not cost
that's-
effective?
No,
That's
my
not
parents
why.
are just so cheap.
Okay, because like I lived on a row home in Philly, so there's literally 200 houses on the block. So we had soda delivery, Charles Chips delivery, milkmen,
Seems fancy.
newspapers. No, it was all cheap. I mean, it was shit. It was all
Wow.
soda and
But
chips.
your parents signed up for it.
We,
so-
oh yeah, everybody signed up for it. Yeah.
Do you guys remember Schwann's? We definitely had Schwann's deliveries. It was like
Schwann's? Isn't that a
frozen
name for your
food.
penis? Isn't that a
No,
Jewish
it
name
was
for your penis?
frozen foods, Schwann's, and we had in the early '80s. My mom would get these giant boxes of diet cookies, quote unquote. These giant. Singularly packaged like muffin tops, and they were like carob chip cookies, and she would disperse them to her friends. I don't want to get her in trouble. I feel like she made a fake S corp to get the wholesale discount. This was a big deal in our house.
We should all sue our parents, I think, for various reasons. But like, what the F? My kid's got a Sub-Zero with food just bursting out of it, and they can do whatever, whenever.
Yeah.
We had so much junk and just so much weirdness. My grandfather would make beef tongue. He'd make a big tongue.
I don't abide
Why
by
do
that.
kids today
Weird.
seem fatter than we were?
Because it's all processed.
Because they don't go out. That's it.
true.
They're on their
That's
phones.
true.
I think it's the movement, but I swear to God, that seed oil is in every single thing your average 10-year-old in America eats. You cannot avoid that seed oil. Just go look at the Paul Newman's olive oil and balsamic
Dressing.
salad dressing. Look at the back. It's canola oil. The first thing's on. It's called olive oil dressing. The first thing is canola oil. It's
That's fattening for them?
it's just bad for you. It's everywhere. It's on everything. It's just like you can't get around it.
I tweeted this picture. Yeah.
The mayonnaise that is the
Your rapper name.
sorry, mayonnaise. Avocado mayonnaise made with avocado oil, so it's good for you. Canola oil's the first thing.
In the avocado. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm also, people focus on the container. When you get there's so many people that just go, "Oh, get the Kraft salad dressing in the plastic squeeze bottle." It's like you don't know it's going to be a shit show. You don't know
all
that
sugar.
It's
the
warning
weird
you.
squeeze.
Oil.
It's a plastic squeeze bottle. It's
shelf
not
stable.
It's not going to be good. Get a jar.
Okay.
Pay an extra $1.50.
I can't find it, but I tweeted it to Vinny when we were leaving San Diego. We went to Old Town, which is like the Dia de los Muertos festival. It was really cool. And we went to a restaurant, and under the healthy options, it said that all the healthy food was fried in canola oil. Oh, there it is. They have a separate fryer with canola oil for the healthy options, and the chilaquiles does not have eggs because it's the healthy option.
Right. We're so backwards. I mean, they're saying as opposed to the beef, tallow?
Tallow or
Right.
olive oil or whatever.
Yeah. We're fucked up.
I went
That's
to
right.
the grocery store yesterday and I saw gummy bears. I saw a big thing of gummy bears in a plastic, and I said, I'll get that. It'll be something I can snack on throughout the week. I ate the whole fucking thing. Here's the problem. I take edibles to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's great. It helps me sleep. I used to be a really horrible sleeper. But part of the problem with taking edibles is I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm high. And I'm like, let me go get some of those gummy bears. And here's what I do. This is the other crazy thing. I go and I get a giant handful of gummy bears. And then I go back to my bedroom. And then I get back in bed and I eat the gummy bears. And then as the handful gets dwindling down, I start to get upset with myself. Why didn't I just grab 2 handfuls? Then I get back up and I go, repeat, and I keep doing it. And then eventually I give up and go, fuck it. And I bring the whole container and I ate an entire, how many calories do you think is in an entire
it's a lot of sugar.
Giant, like a big.
They vary from animal to animal. They're all bears.
Any worms?
It was lean meat. Yeah, it was lamb.
That was a treat. My grandfather got the Swedish fish
Oh,
every
sure,
once in a while.
Secretly
That
love
fish
those.
was a big.
Did you guys have Mr. Bulkies, like those bulk candy things in the mall with the scooter?
Why does everything you bring up sound like a penis? You're like, did you have a Schwanz? Did you have a Schwanz and a Mr. Bulky?
That's Kansas.
You guys have a throbbing hogs out here?
I love the gummy cherries and the gummy Cokes.
I got it.
That was
I
8.
try to tell everyone all the time, just don't bring it home. Now, the kids will ruin you for that shit, but if you can avoid it, just don't bring it into the house. It's a better existence.
Do you make sure that when your kids were going, like, did you maintain a healthy diet for them?
I tried.
But you couldn't
No
stop
sale.
There's
them?
nothing. I could do no enforcement. If I brought Vinny to the house,
Literally
I did,
into the house.
into the house. I did
But your,
everything.
your kids are in good shape, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, just Sonny, I saw him at the thing. He looks
Good.
like he takes care of himself, right?
It's good genetics, but no, I have no. I pay for everything, but I don't get a vote. It's whatever they want all the time.
I love Dan. There was a fork in the road. I didn't know you were going to go that way. He said, when your hand gets down to the last gummy bear, I'm so mad at myself. I thought you were going to say for eating gummy bears.
No, for
but
not grabbing
bringing
more gummy
Okay.
bears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has a new nickname that's catching on. He's coined all the Sleepy Joes and the Lying Hillarys, and there's a new one. He dubbed Florida Governor Ron DeSantis Ron De-Sanctimonious. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but it
No.
is the
Gotta
new
workshop
one.
that
He
one.
debuted that at a rally recently, and Trump's former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo took to Twitter to defend DeSantis soon after. Trump referred to his potential rival as De-Sanctimonious because there's a very good chance that they will be running against each other. It could very well happen.
What
And
does
DeSantis said they were friends.
Sanctimonious.
Yeah,
Where's that even?
Because he ran the ad. He's running an ad. He basically kind of sets himself up as a godlike figure. He said God put him here, essentially, in the new ad.
Oh, DeSantis
He might not be
did?
wrong.
DeSantis did, so that's where Trump came up with it. Attention, guy out there who thinks I'm a moron adjacent guy. Trigger warning coming right here. I'm telling you right now. There's zero chance that DeSantis runs against Trump. Zero.
Wow.
He will not run against him. It'll ruin his career. So Trump's already firing across the bow, but it's not going to happen. Everybody that thinks there's going to be some big showdown, Trump's going to be the candidate. It's not going to be DeSantis. You heard it here first. Dan Dunn,
Really?
Adam Carolla Show. No,
I buy that.
no chance. There's the same playbook happened last time. They said, "Oh no, look, he's making up these juvenile nicknames. It's never going to work. It's never Sleepy or Marco, whatever he called
Little
Rubio and
Marco.
Jeb
Little
and
Marco,
and crushed them all." They know that'll happen. DeSantis' people know it'll happen. If Trump announces next week, that's the end. You won't hear from DeSantis until 6 years.
So why
from
doesn't
now.
he beg to be his vice president running?
Doesn't want to have anything. He just doesn't. He's going to stay out of the way. That's my prediction. I could be
Interesting.
wrong. I don't think I am. I think there's no way because what happened to every one of those
No, you're
other
right.
people? They're all done.
You're right.
They're all shattered. They can never win again. He ripped them
Well,
apart.
speaking of politics, I was sitting around, and they run all the news, Fox, CNN. They're covering all the close races, And we got New York, and we got Arizona,
Oz.
and Oz, Pennsylvania. We got this one, and I was like sitting around. They're interviewing the candidates. Are out, hitting the trail and everything. And then I went, man, it's been going on for a couple of months, and I'm like, man, the whole rest of the country's having an election. And then I was like,
Wait a minute.
oh, wait a minute. We have a gubernatorial. We have an election too. I've not seen or heard anything because
Nobody cares.
Gavin Newsom is so far ahead that we don't even discuss it.
Nope.
But then I thought, California is like 44th in education. It's like the highest taxed. We fucked up everyone with COVID, with crazy tyrannical lockdowns. Not a discussion. Like these other guys are out there peddling their asses
Who's even
off.
running against him? I don't even know.
There's a guy. I mean, what I'm saying is like
No one you know.
Gretchen Whitmer's over there in Michigan, and she's pedaling that bike. Like I closed schools down. Oh, only 3 months. It wasn't my idea. You know, everyone's backing up. Defund the police. Hold on. Oh no, you didn't hear that from me. Like everyone is out there rewriting history, and I'm like, Gavin Newsom hasn't even left the house.
He's
he
better
do a
off
commercial.
shutting the fuck up.
It's not even a contest.
No.
We're not. It's,
No.
But it's weird that California is amongst the worst run in terms of homelessness, you know, crime, like education, like whatever those things are, COVID, like whatever. We're close to the bottom on all that. That there's an election coming up and no one's name even comes up.
Bandied about.
It's weird,
It is.
isn't it?
In my uneducated view, seems like, in retrospect now, a huge mistake to do the recall because that was thrown together last minute. He won
Yes.
relatively easily. Had they mounted, and anyone mounted a serious challenge for this election, he might be like teetering
I
right
think
now,
you're right.
Gavin Newsom. But
Can I
instead,
ask
he
you
survived the recall, and this is
Brian Dahl's the
foregone.
guy's name.
Stronger than ever.
Can I ask you something? How do we all feel about the prospect of Herschel Walker, U.S. Senator? I don't care what.
That'll be fun.
No, it's entirely likely he's going to win tomorrow.
There was a pastor that his video went viral talking about
Oh,
that.
I saw
and
that.
It was pretty
great.
well
We need a runner,
said.
not a walker.
Yeah, he was pretty. He said they picked somebody that they wanted to completely control and manipulate, and they got their guy. And this
I mean,
is
he's
not
got to
the
be
way.
the dumbest guy that's ever run for Senate.
That's
right?
racist.
It is not. I mean, you know,
There is a
Marsha
guy.
Blackburn's dumb. Louis Gohmand's dumb. But, yeah.
Mazie Hirono, I think, is the dumbest person
Oh, from Hawaii.
in Washington. Yes, she is. She is one big bag of stupid.
I never heard her talk.
Oh my God,
Maybe
she
that's
is.
on
She is.
purpose.
That is a
Strategic.
shit show. But there is the guy. Can't remember the guy who thought that Guam was going to tip over if they capsized. They put too many people on it.
Oh boy,
I do kind of remember this.
You remember
this
that
sounds
one?
like an Onion article.
He
Was
may
this
give
recently?
Herschel a run for his money in the not too bright
You mean
commercial.
dumber than bad air? That we're sending our good air over there, and they're sending their bad air
Yes.
over here.
Well, you'll find it.
Johnson?
Hank Johnson.
My fear
Yes.
is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize. This is AJC.com. I'm just looking at the headline.
Where was he? Was he a candidate?
Atlanta
Or
Journal-Constitution.
he wasn't an actual senator, though, was he?
I think he was or is.
U.S. Representative Hank Johnson.
Oh, representative.
Democrat from Lithonia. I don't know wherever that is.
We can find the clip, Chris. The thing that's funny is he's talking to an admiral from like the U.S.
That's
Navy,
not-
and
this
they're
can't be
and
real.
they're like, we don't anticipate that happening. Like,
It's not like a saucer, a lily pad.
it's a clip.
Could an island tip over?
I don't think that's how islands. While he looks for that, can I give a PSA? I went to vote yesterday. Oh, nothing. And can I please say, feel free if you don't know a candidate or if you don't know who the 27th Circuit judge is, skip it. This is the people who are allowed to vote. To picking a coin, just being like, I don't know, this guy. Skip it. If you don't know, I'm happy to skip it.
Yeah.
But we
Poor,
do have an election that
low
matters here.
information.
Yes, and that's why
the mayor
I went.
election is kind of tight, isn't it? A little bit?
I went for
little
several
bit.
things, but not the circuit judges.
Where is that clip, Chris?
We're just queuing it up.
I know it's out there. It's a great. It's not. It's not the politician. It's the admiral's response. That's the best. Hank Johnson.
A small island and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
Oh my God.
Oh, then
That's real.
We don't anticipate that. the Guam population, I think.
Not anticipating that.
Jesus.
We are in
It's
trouble.
not a floating island.
By the way, that was the same look as that doctor had when Trump was going, yeah, I think you could get the shoot rays in there and bleach. And he looked
We
over,
don't
isn't that right? And she was just sitting there like, rubbing her head going,
anticipate
I
that.
don't think that's going to happen.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. People want to see this. They want to see it because they're going to look at it like a success, even though I'm dog shit at it.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, let me tell you about our friend, Jordan Harbinger. All right. Well, speaking of Philadelphia, I'm going to be down there doing 4 shows, some live pods and some stand-up there.
You're hometown-ish.
Is it at the Improv?
Oh no, sorry, helium. You're right. You're right. The question.
Can I come?
Yeah.
I want to be part of that. I want to
sure.
be there. I'll bring my
I'll bring a bucket of chips. We'll go down.
Charles Chips.
We'll go down to the old place. Yeah, it's Helium. That'll be January 6th and 7th. And Dallas will be doing Workin' Blue with John Popper. That'll be January 20th and 21st. And it'll be a fun land cruise. Tucson coming up December 15th at the Rialto Theater, the Improv. At Tempe, that'll be a live podcast stand up there. That'll be December 16th, 17th. Dan Dunn, What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn. Always does his homework and shows up prepared. God bless that. Instagram at The Imbiber as well. Lots of good guests coming up, so check that out. Ryan Leaf, what the hell did I do with that? Bust is the name of the podcast. You can check that out. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dan Dunn and Ryan Leaf and Gina Grad and Paul Bryan saying, mahalo.